So very good morning, ma'am. Always
morning
a
to you
pleasure to
too.
talk to you, Sonal ma'am.
Thank you.
I think leading one of the most legacy schools, if I could call it, in the financial capital of India. A lot of expectations, a lot of pressure comes along with it. But I want to go to the root cause of what really motivated you to become an educator.
I think before I came into this role, I was a teacher.
Okay.
And I think that is something that is so satisfying that anybody who's been a teacher ever would, kind of resonate with what I'm saying. There is something extremely fulfilling about engaging with young people, about, joining them on a journey of discovery.
Wow.
Helping them see something that until just a little while back they hadn't seen.
Mm-hmm.
But because of something that you have said or you have explained, something falls into place.
True.
And I found that in my conversations with my students, I have always learned.
Wow.
And it's helped me to understand things better because, Ryan, the world has really changed. And you cannot draw your references now from the time when you were in school.
That's so
There's
true.
just too much that is different, and we need to let our children explain to us and
Wow.
help us understand the world in which they are living. Otherwise, we won't know.
That's so true.
So I think it was teaching that actually got me, that made me fall in love with this age group of children, and then one thing led to another.
When it comes to digital technology, considering that today's students are so exposed to the digital age, how is it that you counter it in terms of channelizing their energies in a direction that will help them, really navigate through the whole digital space comfortably in their day-to-day lives?
I think, you've used the perfect word, navigate.
Yeah.
We cannot counter it because it is what they are born into. Much more, like I said, this is one of the things that has changed from the time
Right.
when we were in school and even when we were younger. This is a reality of their times and they have to be equipped. It is our job to help them to, kind of smoothen their own negotiation of that space. And the way things are going, I think going forward, it will become even more technologically driven. So it is important for students to be very comfortable
Yeah.
in the space of digital media, of technology, of a lot of things that until earlier were a matter of choice. They are no longer a matter of choice.
That's true.
And their how adept they are, how confident they are at managing that space, at understanding that space is going to a very large extent define their success.
Yeah.
So we have to help them to get that kind of expertise. So the digital space is a reality of our times.
That's so true, ma'am.
And we have to just work with it, not against it. The
Not
minute
against
we start trying to, counter it, it's a lost battle.
Coming to our teachers, how do you really encourage them to have this kind of a mindset that you carry? Because I know it's challenging.
Yes,
but
actually, I think we tend to underestimate them at times because they are they're all thinking individuals. They are all citizens of this new age, and from what I see, at least amongst my team, is they are very keen to learn.
Lovely.
Because they also understand that it can make things a lot easier.
Wow.
It can help them save on time. It can help them plan better.
Mm-hmm.
It can help them engage the kids better. It can allow them to speak to the children in a language that the children understand and respond to better. Even something as simple as teaching a concept. Now you can set it to lyrics and set it to music and play a song for the kids that they might just, they will smile when they learn.
Wow.
And I think that's a great thing for us to be able to do as educators. So I think teachers across, and I speak with special reference to the teachers in my school, are very, very proactive as far as technology is concerned. As an institution, we support it. We push it, we encourage them to, use AI to get the training that they need to get. But I think even within themselves, they are quite proactive in that area.
Ma'am, one last question. I'm sure you've experienced Britannica as
Yes.
as an educational source and an authentic content that you could refer to.
Yeah.
How do you see Britannica Education, now that it's come in a digital format, benefit the current generation of students from what it has done for the last 250 plus years?
See, Ryan, I think anything that has existed for as long as that has also within itself the ability to adapt. Okay, you cannot remain relevant for that amount of time if you are stagnant.
That's true.
Or if you are rigid and inflexible. The fact that the Britannica has managed to remain relevant even till today means it has moved with the times, means that it has read the signs of what works, of what is needed, of how people are changing, how expectations are changing, how demand is changing, and has been able to mold itself according to that. And I see that happening even in its most recent avatar. So I don't think that is going to be a challenge. At the core of it, the reason remains the same, which is the dissemination of knowledge and information in a manner that is tested, that is authentic, that is comprehensive, that is relevant. That has not changed. It is just the manifestation that has changed.
Correct.
And I think it's a matter of great, I would say it's a huge strength for anyone or anything to be able to maintain its relevance for so long, over 2 centuries. So I don't see there being any red flags at all.
Lovely talking to you, ma'am. It's
Thank
a
you.
wonderful Sunday morning.
Yes,
and it couldn't have been better with you, Sonal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Very kind of you to say that. Thank you.